and declare, and Shiraz the bolter. It's without a fight. 100 metres to go. 2 or 3 lengths in front. Coming away from Shiraz and also Salcombe without a fight. Mark Zahra, a Melbourne Cup champion.
Welcome to Bet Doctor Behind the Curtain. Look at how pro punters operate. I'm your host, Scoot. Up and about after a big Melbourne Cup. It was a great Melbourne Cup. Johnny Walter. We're just about to go into three-quarter time. It feels like we've been betting non-stop and I barely slept for weeks. How are you feeling?
Pretty bad, but then quick shout-out to our man, Jared Wheelo.
Yeah.
He thought during the Cup week it was a good time to cart a horse down to the Jericho at Moonee Valley next Friday, 3,800-metre horse. He lives in Rockhampton. So he's gone Rocky, Tamworth, Wagga, Optus outage on his GPS, doesn't know where he is, gets T-boned, car gone, axle gone, hire a car to get his now horse to Ballarat. 3 to 6 months his car's in Wagga. So he's got to get a horse to Moonee Valley next Friday night, then get back to Rockhampton with no car and his float in Melbourne. Good luck, Jared. Good luck, Jared.
It's taken a bit on. Makes stepping down the caller card seem like a breeze. How are you boys in Melbourne? About to hit three-quarter time? You going to come out with your chest pumped or you need a rev up?
Three-quarter time, you're going ahead there, it's about half-time, isn't it?
No, it's half-time. About
Oranges.
The third quarter. Yeah.
It's full-time in Sydney. We're back to midweek meetings, so at least Melbourne's got a little bit of life left in it.
Yeah, so it's good to have that. Yesterday was a bit busy weekend, so it was good to have a little, not a breather yesterday, but something sort of not on to be actually, nothing home, just barrel down at home and take a breath. Nico, how are you finding it?
Oh, not travelling too bad. I feel like we're seeing them well. We just need a bit of luck on our side. Like we had some really good bets on Tuesday and just not a lot of luck. So it's what you need in these big carnivals, isn't it? It's just all you need. It's just the luck on your side with a few things to go your way. So feel like we've been in the ring, but we're not down and out yet. We're not knocked out. So we still got a bit to fight.
Got Jay Spard, Foxy Cleopatra. It was a great bet. 26, batted up again at $34.
Tempo, everything against
and she just couldn't keep a horse straight, and that's cost Foxy Cleopatra the race, I would have thought. It was just absolutely sickening.
Yeah, a bit of turn of foot skew-if. Just got Timmy couldn't reel it in. Another 20 yards, and Nico's a genius.
Yeah, it would have been better this spring. But, Nico, if you've seen him like that, you just got to keep fighting through. Speaking of fighting, without a fight, hat tip Walt, Scoot, we are all over it. Marks are a complete peach. I thought David O'Driscoll summed it up best on Twitter. He's a punter based in Sydney. Pretty shrewd judge, Dave. He backed Gold Trip, and without a fight, he said he was going to launch pre-race. And he said people who backed without a fight have money, and those who backed Salcombe have a story. I thought that was pretty spot on. Boys in Melbourne?
It shows what do they say? From the shithouse to the penthouse. It's a very fine margin, Walt's there tipping without a fight big, potting the shit out of Salcombe. We're all kicking up for Salcombe. So you blokes up there without a fight, we're Salcombe. We're in the shithouse, you're in the penthouse. Only because of the Magic Man. The so-called fucking Magic Man, Not Magic Man anymore after one of that performance. But, there you go. That's racing. That's fine. You take positions. It's, as Walt said on the preview show, it's great to have all these differing opinions. Have differing opinions and... Zahra's the king of the staying riders in this country, that's for sure, after that performance.
Yeah, it's definitely...
It's a nice horse to be able to point and shoot, though, just quietly. When a horse can go like you can at the end of any distance, it's a nice horse to have a bit of confidence to ride however the hell you want, pretty much, as long as you don't overtax him early.
Gold Trip was an interesting one. Did they pull the wrong rein with the Caulfield Cup run? Knock the freshness out of him? 3 gut busters and...
Well, he pulled up lame, didn't he? So it's hard to say. Like, you wanted to have plenty on him coming to the 600, and then he's basically not finished the course. So who knows? It's yeah.
I've got a theory.
Yeah.
Especially he got found out there. I don't think it runs 3,200. A strong 3,200. I think Zahra was the key last year. Can happen. You see in derbies and stuff where horses, 3-year-olds who don't run 2,500 can run 2,500 if everything pans out and circumstances permit. I mean, there was distance screws on him in last year's Cup. And Zahra said after the race, because I had that distance screw on him, I rode him really conservatively, one run at him, it all panned out, soft ground, everything like that. I'm just thinking again, it was in the back of my mind when I saw him just peak late in the Caulfield Cup, thinking, and then you're looking at the form, well, he's running a Melbourne Cup, of course he runs a trip. It's only done it once. All his other forms, 2,400, 2,000 metres. And then J-Mac puts him forward on that brutal tempo. So I know, look, there's an excuse for the lane, and then Kieran after the race said, whatever happened, he was ridden too close for him. So stuff like that. I think he's a mile and a half horse, in my opinion.
I think the Cup this year just brought out probably the best horse without a fight. Like that was probably the
and best
the thought
stayers
process.
too, right?
going
And
in.
the best stays, all those
best stays.
3200, Shiraz 3200, Daquin Street Junior.
Interpretation,
They're all
yeah.
Ashrun, interpretation,
Ashrun,
those
yeah.
lightweights, they just kept
Lightweights,
coming, didn't
yeah.
they? So yeah, I think the fast run nature of the race, if you were a little bit suspect or had a big weight, it just wouldn't have
Fans you
suited
out.
you at all.
Especially the way they did it. It wasn't early, was it? They just sort of steady and then put it on from the wherever it was, 1400 or something. Those clowns took off and it just made it brutal.
Call the Card was an absolute beauty. DK, you were there. Trav Noonan was there, betting up a storm as well at the Call the Card. I guess the best at Betfair. So big shout out and thanks to Betfair. They put on a good show, not only on the Sunday, destroyed us all on the drink on Sunday, and then we backed into the Call the Card. And
Poor old Hideki Matsuyama didn't give you much of a run for your Call of the Card bet. Gave it a barrier trial.
I knew it was over pretty early. He looked all at sea up the.
Mate, he was like
up the
5
straight.
deep just sitting there. I was like, well, just do something, Hideki. Do something. Get the 4 on out. Do something.
Anyways, that was all right. But
What a show. I hadn't been for 20 years since I actually worked. I clerked for Simon Beasley way back 20 years ago. It's the last time I'd been to one of those, and went along and sitting there. It was all starting off a bit quietly. And I was sitting to Trav, and Trav's not there. Yeah, then he pulls the wallet out and he said, we're having a bet. Opening blast to win 100,000 on interpretation. And he got set because he'd never seen anything like that before. And he's trying to get the cash out. And he said, DK, can you help me with the cash? He said, I'm shaking. And they've had to get me old bookies clerk stays, getting all the folded out, giving it to the girls. And then he went on with it, 2,000 on Solcombe, and then Scoot's having 5,000 on some. And then Fractions just going absolutely crazy and just trying to back everything to win $500,000. And we had the Wolf Den boys next to us backing to win $500,000. Had Waterhouse sitting here, had Juppy, Curls, and that table there had Adam Blanco.
everyone's going crazy.
It was just fantastic. It was, and I think Trav was just mesmerised. I said that was a glimpse of the old day. That was the racetrack. The bookie put up the price and gets swamped, or if he went top odds, or if one smarty backed a horse, everyone else are tuning, they get swamped, and it was just so great to see the old bookie versus punter. I don't know what you thought, Scoot, but it was fantastic. It was so good.
It was brilliant, and it was good to take someone like Trav along to the show because I guess he's the next generation of punter, and I think even after the Cup, he said, it's only 363 sleeps till the Call the Card, so he's actually more excited to go back to the Call the Card than the race itself.
That's how it used to be with Country Cup Calcuttas and all those sorts of things, didn't it? Like, you used to have 20 of those a year that you could really enjoy, and it's sort of, it's good to see someone actually upping the ante on something that, I think they'll get better again from what they were saying. I think I'm actually dirty. I wasn't there, and you couldn't have paid me to go, and I was dirty. I wasn't there after seeing it. So
I think Betfair are going to try and go again, and I think there's a couple of different improvements, and I think you could tinker with it, 1 or 2 or 3 changes, and you could make it like a proper spectacle. And I still think that Racing.com should maybe put a bit of a minute lag on it, so they can filter out anything that they don't like the look of. But they should just stream it online. They don't have to put it on their actual TV
There's a lot of people
channel
looking for it.
Well, I think it'd make the Melbourne Cup turnover just completely explode. And speaking to a few of the PRAs and sort of the heads of state in a couple of different jurisdictions that were at the event, if their eyes didn't light up at what that sort of did and that day was,
there
I
should
think
be bookies at home sitting
from it.
wanting to be there as well. I think I think a lot of people think those sorts of events don't exist anymore, so they just don't bother. Yeah,
I think it's great.
The
And
better
get
part
market
was
percentage.
That's right.
100 there,
Pretty much 99, 100, wasn't it?
All the old
99,
fashioned
100, and then horses like without a fight, you got a point and a half better the next day.
Yeah.
So like betting on the Cup itself was the best betting race I've seen.
The bookies were terrific. James Philgate did his first one. He was, as Paul Cox said, he was particularly courageous, taking on a few horses. Richo remained I thought he was the unsung hero of the function. It was going to descend, as Warren Wilcox, in complete chaos with Fractions and the Wolf Den boys all going, trying to get on and crashing into each other. And Richo was the sort of conductor of the orchestra, just trying to get it all. He's got blokes with microphones yelling bets at him. It's fantastic. But one definite improvement, which I've got just sit next to Trav, because I said, God help if he wants to back a horse that or Wolf Den and Waterhouse, because they were setting themselves up to get on first. So it should be bets of 5,000 cash or under first crack, because the bookies want to take the cash bets. They said, we'll bet the Smarties to win $500,000, and now cash bets for the punters at the same price, but no more smart big punters, So let the cash bets on first, see them, and then, okay, now away you go, because you want to service the punters in the room. That was the first thing. The other thing was the drink, Scoot. The drink. What about the RSA? The RSA, the poor staff at those joints had just got drilled into their heads about RSA. Like we sat there, Scoot, for 45 minutes or an hour and couldn't get a drink when we first started, could we?
Yeah,
like
it's
they just disappear. It's just shocking. Like you pay for these functions, no drinks on the table anymore. It's all table service, and they sit you down, they go hiding for an hour, then they come out and just, you see them once every bit in a while and you can see in their face, you ask for a drink and they're looking at you pissed or anything. Like, and the poor, I know they've been just driven mad with the responsible service of alcohol guidelines of these functions, but God, well, those Crown, it's, why don't we lift their game that wise too?
Exactly, $2.70 for the public to buy a ticket there, and if you're just sitting there trying to enjoy the show, that's crazy because it's as DK said, like it's very expensive for sort of what you got on the table and the level of service. So they need to pull their socks up for sure there.
$2.70 a ticket, you're on the Chevy before you get there.
Oh, exactly. Then to do another 5,000 there. I think Kings did maybe 6 times that on the race, like just on his call the card bets, but. I'm sure there's a couple of good winners because, Without a Fight was still well back. Oh, Robbie had his foot on it, so no flies on him. Nico?
I thought the best thing of the car, call the car, like we had a few bets, like me and Trav, we teamed up together and like we beat SP every bet we had in the Cup. So like going forward next year, you're probably looking for a similar sort of thing. Like, that was probably the best thing about it. Like you could we backed Interpretation to win 100,000. He started like 30 to 1 or something. Like we were just like, wow, like the prices that they offered was rock solid, wasn't it? So I think that was probably the huge tick for any punters that want to go next year. Like just for how much you can get on for, and then you're at the good market
especially
prices as well.
With the Betflair influence, it means there were teams, and then that's what Trav was saying next year. Oh, we better get a good syndicate together because they had the Juppie and the Curly and the Jackson syndicate over there. They all pulled their money. The Wolf Den boys were there, as a group.
We'll be back.
As a group. So Trav's going to put a big team together to have a big crack. So let's look out.
Just goes to show, bet 100%, all of a sudden get some liquidity, and everyone just wants to get on and have a bet. So it's not rocket science. Like if you try and have if I had tried to bet the Japanese horse at $21 a day or so earlier, I probably could have got on for 20,000. I would have set the price off from 21 into $15, and that was just on one runner. So
Absurd's a prime example. We did it the day before. Exactly. It went 26 to 13, and it wasn't a lot of money. It wasn't a lot of money.
The punters just want to bet, and we just need to expose more of it. So great event. Let's talk about today's show. Donnie's back. Calipor, he's pulled up well, which is good. And the good news is the syndicate's roaring, 20 units in the last 7 days. So we're back, we've turned up again. So we're back to 102.7 units in the syndicate. So that's good news. Acapella Sun was absolutely given a Tyler Schiller special, Walt, on Cup
half
Day.
a page. They walked. If you don't get time for that ride, just I don't know. Like anyone who wants to watch,
he seems the hardest jockey to catch. Tyler Schiller.
He did it in the first race,
10-1, and then a 0 out of 10 the next.
And it's a 1,000-metre race. He's like, it's been told to ridden it. But he's 5 lengths detached from the last horse, and they're going out 4 below in a 1,000-metre race. Like, come on, give it anyway. Whatever.
He's riding like he thinks
could have run a place, couldn't it?
Ollie,
just run a place, mate.
Nico, I hope you get your Wi-Fi sorted. I was sweating bullets for you in the Cup, waiting for it must have just jammed up the phone lines there, and obviously Optus has shit the bed, so hopefully you got a bit of a failover plan for the next couple of days.
I will say, being there at the Cup, that was like I don't know what the pre-game or the pre-race entertainment was like for the TV, but where I was standing, that was right next to us, and that was probably the best entertainment-wise that I've been to there. Like, it was absolutely packed. You're looking around, there wasn't a sort of spot anywhere. Everyone was trying to get down to the fence, look at the horses in the yard. The member stand was absolutely packed. So I think the VRC they did a really good job there on Tuesday in terms of the crowd and all that. So well done to them.
It's back. All right. Fingers crossed you can get that Manning Yard mail to us quickly. And it's going to be a big couple of days for you. As Mr. Mojo Rising got crunched, got Jamie back into form. We'll credit him that. 320 into evens, and the boys all sort of lined up there. And Zard Dozy was a bit of a sick beat for him. So he's back. He's going to... He's, I guess, the conduit. He's going to do a little bit of Flemington, and he's going to help Walt navigate the 5 Diamond. So it'd be good to have Azza back on the show. The map, I tell you what, wasn't it a win on Cup Day? My phone blew up, my Twitter blew up, my Discord blew up. It's got to turn a foot, Walt.
Have you backed it right at the start?
I had a mental health bet on it. Yeah.
Sanity bet. I just laughed. I didn't even see the race, but how funny, isn't it? It's just happens so often when you find something in an easy race, it gets beaten, then it comes out and goes progressive, bang, bang, you're like, oh.
That race summed up Cup week. Like, Mr. Waterville gave it an absolute beating in the Geelong Cup. The map was falling out of the screen. And then you get to Cup week and one improves 9 lengths and the other can't even, hits the front and doesn't want to win. It's just so hard to figure out the form sometimes.
Once you find something about a horse, sometimes it just pays to stick on with it. So, yeah, you just got to keep watching those tapes and get your head around it. But it's been a big week, been betting everywhere. Jenny Duggan at Musselbrook versus Aaron Bullock. What a time to be alive, Cup week. Can't wait to have a game of golf next week and a bit of a lie down. TopSport Steam Lay of the Year. I called on the show on Tuesday. They laid 10,000 at 3:30 Vorburn. Wasn't that a bet? Wasn't that a bet to lay? How's the Flux? The Flux sort of gave it up as well. That the dodgy track gallop, well, not the dodgy. It looked good, but he had that big sweat, and then he was $3.30 out to $6, and it was just express
it's got
out.
to been the greatest arbiter. Like if you had $1 million in Betfair, all you had to do was just keep gapping it at $4.60, $4.80, and loading it on the corpse at $5.50, $6.
Yeah,
it was the weirdest situation I've seen. Obviously, UK horse, UK Betfair may be strong, but just strange. And it was there for hours and hours and hours. And our tote was like $7 and Betfair was, under $5 for the majority of the time, or right around there. It was just anyone who wanted free money, it was available.
Turnover figures will be absolutely through the roof. It'd be great to see. TopSport's got best the best on all the Group 1 races, so make sure you check that out. Top Fluck or Best Tote. Odds to 5,000 fix at the time, and if it drifts, you get the little kicker. So definitely can get on for a bet there, and that's what we want. All right, the first race that we're going to have a look at comes in on Saturday, and I'm just going to play around with the order here. And Nico, it's the Matriarch first up here. Race number 5. Interesting little field here. The favourite is Pearl of Alsace, or $5. Steinem $6. Osmosis $6. Deny Knowledge $6.50. Thalassophile $7. Dual nominated. Interesting to see which way.
Yeah, so it's in $5. I think it's 20 to 1 in the $5. I still don't know which way they'll go.
Amkura $10. Mustang Valley $11. Papillion Club $13. Soul Choice $16. No one a deal 20. She's a con 21. Affair Swervero's got the Adelaide form. Look out for it. $34. And then you got Premise at $34. The replay we're going to have a look at is it's Walt's Premonition. It's Osmosis.
No,
Chase.
it was a race before. I went back and it was Flemington.
Oh, okay.
It was Flemington.
Nico, it's worked really hard. 4 or 5 wide here. Here she comes.
Yeah, I think this is a good form. I think this part of the track at the Moonee Valley Carnival just probably wasn't a great spot. Not many horses did what she did, like come wide and really hit the line. I think Thalassophile there is definitely in the A ground for the Carnival. She had good improvement to come from the yard, Gay Up and Trip, good barrier. They can probably use her up. I thought she's definitely the horse to beat here. This favourite's got Kiwi form. I think it ran third in the Livermore Classic last start, but it's copped a big J-Mac tax. I think if you had, I don't know, bloody Dean Yendall on it, it'd be $10,
Yeah,
So
Jay has a party on it, it'd be $10.
So, yeah, I think she's just been overrated because the rider, that New Zealand form doesn't even look that strong anyway. And I thought Osmo's had good improvement to come from the yard, and it's a pretty weak Matriarch. There's none of these real fillies or mares backing up from the Empire Rose, which there usually is a lot of them. So they've sort of dodged it given how fast a race that was. So I think Osmo's going to hit it at the right spot, looking for 2,000. I think there's a fair chance she's ridden a lot more aggressive from the draw. So one of many sort of $5 or $6 chances on the card I think you get pretty keen on. I think it's a day to really hit those middle pinners because a lot of them look very well placed.
It's interesting. Never been to 2,000 metres, but she didn't stop there in the Tessio Stakes. And tell you what, right camp.
Yeah, I think it'll be right behind Deny Knowledge. Right behind it. Like, right behind it.
So you dreamed to start early.
Yeah, I just can't believe that I just had the venue wrong.
Dates.
I had the venue wrong. And I knew it drew 1 because I saw it jump from 1 and it's just a week early. Right behind Deny Knowledge and very hard to beat. Obviously, you look in the weights and thing. I actually thought they might make a mistake with this horse and bet a bit better than $6. I was a bit disappointed, but I don't think it's the wrong price. I'm with Nico 100% here. I think it's the right race. Thalassophile is dangerous just because you saw what Waller's horses do come this time of year. These grand finals, they jump out of the ground, and whilst it was in the right ground there, they weren't, I think it sort of looked like it had a bit of a barrier trial anyway. So I think that's the right form race coming into this race, I think.
And I half found Amakura as well, but she was out of the same lead up as Osmo's 2 runs ago, but just the weight kind of graded me up a little bit there. But if she was in a little bit better, I think she'd be a good chance as well. If you got sort of 15s on the day, I'd probably chop out on her as well, Amakura. She looks like she's been just completely set for it, but she's very poorly off.
But so there's no depth to the right horses weight wise, is there? So it's like some of these races are false when you look at the what they call them, the true weights in these races. The ones on the up and in right form can still pinch them this time of year.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. I think the Kiwis definitely look chinky, so I'll be playing the Aussie or the local sort of settled in horses. No doubt about that. But Amakura was a pretty good run first up, I thought. Race number 1 is the next one. It's the benchmark 90 1600 metre race, and Az is lurking in the background, so we'll get Mark to do some replays, and Azza can start to chime in as well because he's got a bit of an opinion here. So questions favourites 360, Von Hawk 440, Far Flung 480, Acceleration 550, What a Deal 650, Japanese Emperor $10, Typhoon Harmony 21, Kind Gesture $26, and you can sort of forget about the rest. We're going to have a look at the trial of Acceleration. Richard Cully trained, Declan Bates rides. Nico, blue with the white spots.
I don't think you see horses trial much better than this. This was outstanding. This horse that wins, Cadbol's, like, these are all 1,000-metre horses, except Electric Impulse, who just won at Flemington 2 starts ago and was in the Von Hawk race. This horse absolutely flies. I know he's under a bit of riding, but he's a 2,000-metre horse. I just love the way he got through the line here. Just this last 100 metres, he was really picking up steam, and then through the line, he was impressive. So I think that's definitely a key form reference, and he looks like a horse that's going to race really well. Interestingly enough, this is a Von Hawk replay. Electric Impulse, who was in that trial, she's in the red sleeves down the outside. Von Hawk in the pink. And then you got Rogue Rocker coming through and Euphoric, who run today. So you get a bit of a guide on this form reference. Interestingly enough, the horse in the green sleeve, Typhoon Harmony, Acceleration actually beat him last campaign, so you can definitely tie in their form. This probably looks like a key lead up for a race like this, given Von Hawk absolutely pulled his brains out in that event. But I just thought Acceleration's absolutely set for this. His first up run last campaign at Flemington, he beat Typhoon Harmony, he beat Baltoro. They both come out and won subsequently that campaign, and he should have gone very close to beating Pounding, who went on and just had an absolutely gun autumn. So I think that form looks very strong. I think he's here to play first up. Last camp, that seems to be how they get this horse going. They get him to fire first and second up. He should have won the Colac Cup. I reckon they're probably setting him for the Ballarat Cup, but I think he'll run a big race on Saturday, and he might need a bit more of a rating to get into the Ballarat Cup. So I think he's there to win, and I think the others around him are a little bit chinky. I've got a big chink on Sequestered, whether she actually stays. I don't know about Von Hawk. Just didn't like how he had a race last start, and then a few of the others in the market are probably a bit similar. So I'm pretty keen Acceleration. He'll be getting back and running on, which I think will be the pattern of the day these next 2 days. So I'm betting up there.
Sequestered looked like it got shot last start. How the heck it could go up favourite anywhere off that run?
It was the angle straight away, wasn't it?
Get it beat.
Sequestered. But
3 PRs in a row too, won 2 of them, and then last start, and it just sort of was going to bolt. I don't know what happened to it. It looked like it was a sort of...
interesting to see. So he's had a throat-up Acceleration.
Well, maybe
so
that's what happened.
Might have really improved, Well, he's always been a line finder, so he's improved him. And he's very underrated trainer, that Richie Cully. If you want to give him someone a horse and get a quid out of one, behind
100%.
the list. Richie Cully can do it. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
I don't think you're going into Cup Week having a run. Like, I think he's here to play, so I'm pretty keen there.
Declan Bates is man for the job. Shout out to Trevor Lawson. He was all over it very early with him, but I'm a believer of Declan Bates. But tell us why Von Hawk can spoil the party, Azza.
Bit of the carnival here, Von Hawk, for me. Absolute great value at the price, $4.40. Back at the win, back at each way, still $1.80 the place. Very, very limited pace in this race. We only saw the turn of that Geelong race there. It was an absolute slaughter by Joe Carr. It was caught wide early. She went back and then sort of gave it a dig, and he just started over racing. Then she tried to restrain it because Netton Hay picked up. It was just absolute torture. However, he stayed on to be beaten 2 lengths by 2 horses who were favourites in the $500,000 race on Oaks Day was extraordinary. He's always had a heap of ability. Crossover noseband goes on Saturday. Had that for its first 3 starts before it was gelded. I'm not sure. I think it's a bit of an overreaction to last start, but I see it just plunking in the first 4 here. Interesting, no jock. Hoping they put B. Mertens on at 54. But I can't. So I think a lot of things are going to be map negative here. Sequestered, barrier 10. If it goes back or forward, looks like huge out of the trip. So I saw that angle too. Acceleration, yeah, sure. But again, map negative, hasn't raced for 10 months, 7-year-old. So I'm happy to be against Acceleration here. And I just think Von Hawk for me is the better the carnival. Absolutely unloading on it.
Outstanding. Nico, what do you say about all that?
I don't know if he's any good, Von Hawk, to be honest. Thought that run at Flemington was run to suit. That was a weak race with Tamerlane leading and winning, and then last start, I know Jay Carr kind of barbecued it, but he didn't do everything right, and now he's got to come up in distance. I just question a little bit of his form. Helix hasn't really gone on with it, and I like Acceleration. I reckon would be favourite in the country race. Like he's got proper open class form, and it's all 78 form. So yeah, I think he has better form, to be honest.
What is the trick here? What do you think, Azza, with no rider? I mean, the jocks, it's Cup week. They'll be falling over themselves to get a.
I don't know. I don't click. Does feel a bit asleep at the wheel, but that was first emergency for the $500,000 race today.
Right.
It didn't have a jockey for that either. So I thought he was thinking. I thought he was maybe thinking Dashing was going to scratch with 59 or 58.5 on the outside gate, but even then, I'm not sure why he wouldn't have engaged a jockey. So it's strange because a lot of the good lightweights are engaged in that race already. B. Mearns isn't, so maybe he puts it on. But
I reckon he's hoping Jamie Carr's scratched on Saturday so he can put a straight back
actually,
on it again.
I think that's the danger. What a deal. I think it's going better than it is, but again, it sort of gets back and needs pace. I just can't see any pace in this race. Yeah, I think, hopefully Jamie's turned the corner after Derby Day. She looked a lot better in the saddle, and after that shocking injury, she's been really battling, but thought she rode a couple really well there on the weekend. So could be the turning point for her.
It's a real red flag when trainers are sort of the last ones to commit to a jockey. Doesn't inspire you.
Without knowing. Could be tricky.
What's a red flag? The horse doesn't know.
It's not as if he's not going to find a jockey. There's
a Punting.
8 runners or something.
I don't like it.
He'd have someone in mind.
Can't wait to see that.
Ryan Moore.
Has Jamie Spencer got a ride? How light does he ride?
I don't know. Next race.
He won't be back, will he? Surely.
Jay Spencer?
Or is he riding West Wind Blows on Saturday, is he?
He is, yeah.
I think he is. Look out.
Yeah,
outstanding. I love this. Nico and Azza head-to-head, and the bookies have just got to let us on.
Well, it's good when we're not on, and neither of them are favourite. That's the best part.
Yeah, it's going to be a cracker. Nico's Telegram, $25 a week, so make sure you chime in for the last couple of days. It's going to be an absolute beauty, and doesn't end there. He's there every week, so must buy the Telegram service. Everyone here absolutely loves it. Azza, we're going to trot up to Sydney now for the 5 Diamonds. Feels like it's a bit of an afterthought, little bit of a little appendix at the end of the carnival. What's left of Sydney anyway, but Antino's a favourite here, $3.20 into $3 at TopSport. Democracy, Manifest, $7.50 Unspoken, one of Walty's horses, just a winning machine. This thing, $9.50. Detonated Jack, $10. Who You Mail, $12. Palmetto, $13. Waterford, my old sparring partner, $14. Jimi Hendrix, 21 into $15. Hope in Your Heart, $15. Zoom On, $15. Faulkner Park, $16. Emergency, and then you got Converge. I thought it'd be in the nursing home by now, $17. Hinge, $19. St Lawrence, $31. The Lassafile, $34, and I won't mention the last 2 runners here. Antino's a replay we're going to have a look at first at Moonee Valley. Pilot error, Az?
Oh, I think pilot error. I think, it was a good competitive race, and I think J-Mac there sort of didn't let him out. But anyways, look, I think the horse is going amazingly. Great run of the Toorak. I thought another good run here. Wouldn't have been out of place in the Champions Mile on Saturday. Sure, would have been double figures, but I like that they've, remained conservative, taken him up to Rosehill for which is a 4 and 5 year old race. He just looks the best placed horse in Australia for mine. It has come up a bit stronger than I thought with Open Your Heart, Forgot You, and Who You Mal accepting for this race. I probably didn't expect those in there. But I think, he's drawn 2 as Clipperton. He's got to be positive. He can't sort of be fall back the rail. And if I think he can, and he's shown in Brisbane before that he can be positive out of the gates. So he really needs to take advantage of that gate. And I think if he can stay out of trouble, he's clearly the one to beat in this race. Love to hear what the great man thinks about Matt.
Yeah, well, the problem is the rider. He's probably one of the worst form jockeys in Sydney, Clipperton. Like, he's obviously ridden that Think About It well, but holy cow. And he's a bit passive too. He's the problem. The horse is not the problem. It's not the problem. I just don't know how they found Clippo, but even Luck, I agree with you 100%. Like, he's the only horse that's, really well prepared. 1,800 metre box doesn't look an issue, especially from the draw. And then, I sort of thought Who Your Mouth's very interesting. Obviously didn't stay the trip in the 2400 for the Caulfield Cup, but coming off that hard run back to this race, what's it going to do from a wide draw? He's a keen going thing. It's going to need to be a really good ride from Hippo. Price helps sort of overcome that. And I thought actually Thalassophile was interesting at $34 if it lobbed here, but it'll probably go to that Matriarch, you'd think. But
it looks like it's just getting scratched now. Markets are shifting.
There you go. So, I think it's very hard to back anything to beat Antino here. It's just the rider that's just, I guess, who's there? God, if you put Nash on it, it should be even money, I think. And then you got and the rough and the dangers are as I said, sort of 15-1 and bad luck. So I think it's still a great bet.
A couple of horses that I sort of liked that I was just trying to figure out who's set for this race, and Detonator Jack looks cherry ripe for it. But yeah, just don't know how he sort of
just a horse though, right?
I just don't know how he can beat Antino, and then
it's got a bad luck exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah.
The other horse I didn't mind was the singer Jimi Hendrix. I thought. If Annabelle, she can sometimes just plonk these horses into the right races, and I think she won with a horse called was it Star of India, one of those Rosehill Cups, or she just seems to just bounce horses straight into these races, fresh off the boat or the plane or however they get them here. I don't care. But Jimi Hendrix, if it had a better jockey, again, it's got Brett Preble.
I'd love to see this come down the outside and grab Antino just to see Az's head absolutely pop off.
It might.
Imagine Brett Preble slapping down the outside and jammed him with. After what he did on, what was it, Kimochi?
I'm still
But I'm not sure if it's a Bumburamare or whatever it's called, but Jimi Hendrix might just let loose here. So beware the English horse here.
It's a complete unknown, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hard to know. I was against that Five Diamonds prelude race totally. So anything in that, I basically put the line through, and then Who Your Mail was the dangerous one coming back in trip. Agreed, and but go Antino, give it strength, please.
Nico, any thoughts or any insights? Antino yard or?
I think that run he had last up will actually suit him because from a yard point of view, there's no improvement left. I think he can only, it'd be a great training performance, just keep him up. But he didn't have a hard run there, which probably helps him. He just was, smothered up and had to sprint late. So if he had a real gut buster, it would have been hard against him. But I think that not having a hard run probably helps him from a yard point of view because there's no improvement left, but he still might have a little bit of gas in the tank because he didn't have to use it all up there.
Love him coming back the other way too. So goes back to clockwise, which I think will help that horse as well. All right. We're going to have a look at the Golden Gift. Any opinions there, Azza, or will we let you go for the day?
I haven't done it. Good luck, boys. Thanks for having me.
Outstanding stuff.
Good luck, mate.
Good luck.
Good on you, boys.
All right, Rosehill Race 7 is the next one. It's the Inglis Golden Gift, Shangri-La Express, $2.10. I think this is a bet sent from the syndicate. Donnie liked this horse on debut. Scampy, second favourite, $7.50. Volatile, $7.50. Miss Judas, $9. Better Being Single, $10. Tell that to Nico every week at the start of the show off air. Ruta Royale, $18. And Graham, $19 with Trafalgar Square, D. Payne. Bit of a shifty operator, D. Payne. Shangri-La Express is a repo going to have a look at here. Wow, in the yellow and orange.
Yeah, so it's stablemate, which is behind it, opened up favourite here, and it was very well backed. Had to work quite hard to get to the front. It was only sort of an even tempo, but a fast even tempo, and you can see what this horse does to them late here. Just a super strong Waterhouse horse. Came into this race off one trial. 14 gate is very rarely a worry for their sort of style. So, it probably helps Reggie, if anything, because if the horse does anything strange early, it gives him time to balance up and punch forward. And, I just think it's just way too strong. It's certainly low-hanging fruit, and we're not getting what did we get, $8 or $9 on debut? But, I just can't see anything in there that's going to push this horse if it does everything right like it did there. If it comes forward off that, it's the best 2-year-old I've seen so far, and I can't see anything in the race that looks like it's going to jump out of the ground. So it's a bit low-hanging fruit and not really my favourite, but it's a bit of a midweek meeting, the Saturday meeting at Rosehill. So I think this one will just bounce to the front from the wide draw, and good luck.
Bit more intent from Miss Judas. They weren't really out there to win last start, I didn't think. Maybe. Yeah,
it still needs a rocket booster to beat. Miss Judas went to the right race without that horse in it. It was probably what you were looking for. But, I think, one trial when Gay trials them, sort of once, twice, they improve and then improve to the races. So if that horse improves off that and goes forward, it's probably going to be, favourite for some good 2-year-old races after Saturday, I would imagine.
Young Tommy Henjack sent us a little bit of a message last 24, 48 hours. Regan Bayliss, is he a worry on this horse?
Well, of all the stables he rides for, this is the stable he rides best for, which is, the same for most jockeys because they're not complicated, are they? They push forward and if you barbecue them a bit, it usually suits them. So that's why the wide draw and Reggie's not too bad here. I think he'll just push forward. He rode one of Gazy Letters. I wish to win or I'm in to win or something quite well. He knows how to ride her horses, and Yera's on the side of over cooking them a little bit, which is completely fine here. I don't see too many 2-year-olds that want this hard run. So, I think he's just too strong.
Scampy, got any hope? Scampy?
He's the $3 million horse or something, isn't he?
Is it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You got into the Scampy, Nico? You've had any Scampy?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
but
it's good. It's like the prawn. Had some beautiful ones.
Like a sweet prawn,
on the grill the other night. Yeah. I've had prawns a million different ways, but Scampy in the shell on the teppanyaki grill with all the butter and stuff they put over it. Oh, magnificent. Yeah. Scampy.
Hard to beat Scampy.
I thought this race was interesting from the Stallions. These blue points just jump out like rockets, like Scampy, Blue Stratum, Blue Illusion, and they don't really seem to go on race day. So I think that's probably a knock there. And I'm interested in these Alabama Expresses because he was a ripping type. Always thought he had a lot of talent. And he's got 2 in today. And then I think that was his first runner, and it's absolutely bolted in. So my knock there would be she beat absolutely nothing. But it's what do you find to beat her? There's probably not much there. It's probably one of the first starters if you really went looking. So might have to do some more digging there.
He won a CF4. Who trained him, Maroney or Hawks, or who trained Alabama Express?
Maroney, yeah.
Yeah, Mikey Maroney. Weird one, isn't it?
I thought he was the best 2-year-old. I watched his jump outs and I backed him at 50 and 60 to 1 to win the slipper, and he just didn't get there. And then I never had a cent on him after that, and he won the CF4 and then went off to start.
Must be he has some talent. I think he's a Redute's choice for memory. And be interested to see what he does. I'm sure if there's a horse like Shangri-La Express poking out of the woodwork, everyone will start to find him. It's time for our second favourite segment of the world. If you want more of John's analysis, it's racingwatch.com.au. He's seeing them very, very well, obviously, without a fight. He set off Absurd, which was very nasty. I walked in the Betfair function on Sunday and Daniel O'Sullivan said, I really wanted to find Absurd. And I said, you won't like Walt then. He's just already, he speared your price off. So
I thought we were collecting early there when he was pulling coming to the 600 metre mark and he was like pulling himself into the race. I'm like, holy cow, how far is this going to win by? Yeah. I didn't spot Without a Fight at that stage, but it was strange the way the UK runners all basically popped at the same mark. Even I don't want to hurt Nico here, but he's all, even though the sushi was was running on and then it sort of just hit the wall. It was amazing how they all just didn't run out at the strong 3200.
The sushi had a bubble bath behind the barriers.
I know, but
it was still just foaming everywhere.
But it like let down, like it was going to be top 5, and then it was just even more felons did the same thing up the fence. 11th.
Yeah,
they all did it. It was quite weird.
You had a couple of sick beats, Nico. I shouldn't laugh because it's just brutal.
You can laugh about it now, though.
I'll tell you what with Vauban, I don't reckon he was fit enough. Looked at him relative to Observe in the yard and a few of the others. I think they missed a trick not running him. He was a bit fresh and he just wasn't that fit.
Pen jobs in future. Pen jobs.
You got to say that Absurd nearly would have been in the finish too if it ran in the Caulfield Cup.
That's right. If they'd run in the Caulfield Cup, and he said maybe we should have given him a run here. Yeah, give him a run here next time. They turn up off the plane. They're pen jobs in future. The way all the big owners here are buying all the good ones and bringing me like Without a Fight, Gold Trip, already here, already seasoned. If you think you can jump off the plane and beat them without having a run here, you're dreaming. That's what we learned from that Melbourne Cup.
I tried to talk a few clans. That'd be a perfect horse to buy. Absurd. I don't know what it costs, but it's one of the ones like Ado and Gay or something could buy it and keep it here. Yeah. It'd just knock up winning races.
J-Mac at the Call the Card. Just basically, he gave it up. He just said, I didn't like what happened with Vauban foaming up off that 1,600 metre gallop. He said, big query. He was the give up there. And at the end of the day, Fractions was right. They did bet better on the Tuesday. He was trying to fish out for an extra couple of 100,000 or $500,000 on Vauban. He said, you never know.
What
It might
about
bet
Woody's
bigger tomorrow.
one-liner that he wouldn't bet his daughter was a girl or something? What did he say? He wouldn't have.
You wouldn't have 50 on your sister was a girl.
Yeah,
Warren
yeah,
Wilcox said,
but
but
that's
that's
right.
right. Cash. It was a very good joke.
Oh,
But that's
man.
why he'd back it on the day before like that, because he'd try getting 400,000 or 500,000 on it the next day.
Was
You
driven
know, in
deluxe.
the normal marketplace,
Yeah.
where he could just go plonk there. He said to himself, maybe it'll be better tomorrow. He knew, but he still had to try getting 400,000 on it tomorrow.
Remember
You know,
last
would've
year
spent-
they were trying to get millions on that camel when it was $7
Yeah.
into $3.50 and it got out to $6 later. It's just funny anyway.
What a world. How good's the punt? It's just unbelievable. Speaking of the punt, Scooty's Moral, Flemington Race 8. It's the Champion Stakes. I'm going to declare one here. Won't be hard to guess. West Wind Blows $2.70, Prowess $5, Zaki $6, Dewey $6, a Tissue $7.50, Buckaroo $19. Interesting race selection there. I thought they would have gone to the mile, but here we are. Montefiore $20, Hueta $26, and then you got Zyrac 26, Pinstripe, and Young Werther. Horse I like here, hard to find. West Wind Blows was terrific in the Turnbull, but after the Turnbull run, I said on a show a couple of weeks ago, I thought this was the Cox Plate winner. And they went to the Caulfield Cup, and he just got bloused by the good horse without a fight. And it's all easy in hindsight here, but take this horse back to 2,000 metres. He comes off that little extra bit of freshen. He's got another week up his sleeve. Just looks like an out-and-out 2,000 metre horse to me. Jamie Spencer is the biggest query here, but barrier 2, I think he's got a tick in every box, and he'll be my leg of the top 2 special. Prowess, I think she's just been chasing a tail, run behind. I'm just not sure that forms just the complete A grade for a really strong 2,000 metre race. Zaki is not his best. Dewey was absolutely fantastic in the Cox Plate. A little bit sick that she couldn't get the gap, but that's the Valley. But she's really well found. I think she'll drift from the $6. A Tissue, absolutely airborne. Oh, yeah, that was another big result for a lot of people with Pride of Jenny just sort of sticking on. I think she'll improve and just absolutely loves 2,000. But, this is a really tough race for her. And then Buckaroo, as I said, query the distance. Montefiore, no. Hueta would be a really good bet in an easier race. And Zyrax obviously going good. But, 59 kilos, West Wind Blows. Beautiful setup this for me. Wins.
Saki's got to be the danger, isn't it? Like, it's running the Cox Plate has to be the best of their runs. Like, Dewey was unlucky, but Zaki was the one that sat outside of ridiculous tempo and got beat a length off a freshen. So, I think it's the only leader here, and West Wind Blows probably tracks it, and it's probably the only horse that's got to get past. If they went slow, which I doubt they will, that brings the other horses into it. But otherwise, it looks a 2-horse race to me.
It's fascinating, this race, because this is only the second year running, or I think maybe the third. And last year, all the horses back from the Cox Plate came into this race and they were completely cooked. Like, he's a shocker, nearly bloody won it. And Zaki just stuck on. Now they've gone back to the mile, which has opened this up for West Wind Blows. But again, like, is he going to be flat out of that 2,400 metre race coming back in distance? I know the others weren't, but they went up. I think it's a little bit different. So, I think Prowess is very dangerous. Like, it does seem a good race to be hitting, just off a nice little lead in off her last run. So I think the yard will tell the story in those races. I haven't really gone too in depth, like forensically from a form point of view, because I think the yard will just tell the full story there. So keen to see them on Saturday.
Beautiful. Oh, yeah, I'd say Prowess is the possible danger, but if that's who you find, I think, he might absolutely space him.
He's
But
so
we'll
strong, that West Wind Blows.
Yeah.
So
He saw it
strong.
at the Turnbull. Like, he's a serious 2,000 metre horse. So I'm going to be putting lots of multis into that horse, and I'm going to be very excited. Puntingform.com.au helps me do the form. Tiptoe to Adelaide. I can do Musselbrook. I can go play up in Sydney. I can do it anywhere, and that's because I've got Punting Form. It's the best form guide on the planet. So simple to use, so easy. You can play around with speed maps, flat books. It's the one I love, I must say. Donnie has pulled up a bit short, I think, so no video this week, but Donnie's best is Doomben Race 10, number 3, Starzam each way. So I think it's around the sort of $6.50 mark at TopSport at the moment, and I'm happy to give him a free pass. If you have a run in the Melbourne Cup, I'm willing to give him a day or two off.
Yeah, bloody oath. It would have been exciting. Yeah, poor old Zachy gave it us all back, but he battled on.
Good to hear it pulled up really well. Anyway, the TopSport promo, top 2 went off last week, He-Man and Zardozi. So we sort of got away with it, $4.20 into about $3. He-Man just needed a little bit of extra
Mate, the winner was
Hey?
off and gone.
Yeah,
Something
I know.
for the battlers.
Need an extra
Guys, that.
400. Need an extra
TC.
400.
Beat us
Well, yeah,
both.
once more.
Yeah, and then TC just jammed us
And
all
then he
on
did it
to
again
Daisy.
in Amazonian. What a good man he was. Oh, that was a good day.
Must be your shout for lunch.
No,
Cool.
you want bug rolls.
I'll get a bug roll this Sunday, I tell you. This week, the top two spash, we're going to go a couple of shorties, just so you got something in the kick at the end of the day. Rosehill race 7, number 1, Shangri-La Express, Walt, and then Scooty race 8, number 4, Westwind Blows. So $100, 350 is a price there at Tristan's. So if you want the top two spash, I think we can go 2 weeks in a row. And I'll be filthy if we don't, because that'll be multi-madness, just absolutely killed. TopSport Steam, couple of good bets here, like this one. Flemington race 4, number 2, Duke DeSessa. Probably finally finds his right race here, 2,000 at 480 in the Queen Elizabeth Stakes. Bit of an eye-catching run last start. Nico?
Huge. Well, I went back and looked through his form this campaign. The horses that beat him home in the Turnbull were Westwind Blows, Salcombe, Gold Trip, Romantic Warrior, and Lunar Flare. And then he's right there with them. So it's a pretty hot form, isn't it? And then
Watching the
Cup.
replays for the Cup, he was the horse. I was like, what horse is that? I want to back it in the Cup.
He was in the Cup. I think he could have even qualified. I think they're just going to try and go a bit easy because he's just been on the back foot, Nico. All prep.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think 480 seems pretty reasonable in a Queen Elizabeth.
It's only a 5-year-old. This horse could be a genuine contender next year. He has got a motor. I've found him at every start, all preparation, and sadly that's not my 2000 because it's now into.
I just remember Nico saying before last start, he's like, this horse has got the ability to win this race. And then when I watched the race, I'm like, and first horse I looked at to see whether it was I was amazed it wasn't in the Cup. So if they've decided to look after him and take this as the easier option, holy cow.
Can be like that, the Queen Elizabeth too. There can just be one glaring moral. Fingers crossed that's it. Flemington race 5, number 9, Noonan a deal, $500 at $34 in the Matriarch.
It's a Queensland horse, isn't it?
I don't even know who it is.
I'm pretty sure it's a Queensland horse. It's got a decent record, but Jeepers Creepers. Not going to knock a $34 chance all the same.
Good on you for working that one. Race 4, number 11, Monty Outlander, $170 at $13 here in Rosehill race 4, the highway to hell. Have you got into the highways yet?
I just got a headache looking at it. So again, $13. It's actually got an engine, the horse, but no, I haven't spent enough time on it to have an opinion. But I'm not knocking a $13 chance either.
Zach Waddick claiming 3, and Mayfield Smith $13 into $8.
So he's probably the hardest trainer to catch in New South Wales, and paired with Zach, it will want to be very good.
Yeah, I thought the dramatist might go close there with Reece Jones and Rod Northern.
Yeah, Dunn's got a nice enough horse in there too, and he's just flying, isn't he?
Matt Dunn, he does.
I've never seen anything like it. The way his horses, since he's gone back up there, they've all, the horses that he's got that weren't running at that time are all flying, and the ones that he had that were going poorly are all back to their absolute best. So he's just very hard to beat wherever he puts one down at the moment. Matthew Dunn.
So a lot of horses are going to get scratched there. So the barrier 22 for Bandasha and the dramatist will suck right back in, maybe 4 or 5. So. Make sure you take note of that and don't get scared by wide barriers because sometimes I just absolutely love them. I have more on if they're drawn wide. Race 8, Rosehill, number 11 is Detonator Jack. This could be my bet, $167 at $13 into 10. It's not, but I think it could be a knockout if Antina doesn't turn up and old Jimi Hendrix is too busy playing guitars out the back. So I think that's the lot for the TopSport Steam.
Yeah,
DK.
Detonator Jack had the perfect run the other day.
Yeah. You had a quiet day yesterday, DK. Surely you've got something for us somewhere.
After embarrassing myself last Friday night, what a fucking shit show that was.
Big Jimmer.
Just shows, it's why Jelko's got squillions and I've got nothing, because you can balance out the variables. You over-enhance one variable and you end up in the shithouse like I did then, like the SP, you go SP. Don't worry that it's a very green one-pace slug, just worry about the SP. And then you get jammed. So that's the lesson from that anyway. Tolerance, backing up on Tolerance tomorrow, race 1, Hamilton. I tipped it the other day. It got into the play. There's another one, the patient died in that place, multi backing them all. This, my comment from last start is ready to piss in at 2,400. The only thing is it's 2,200, but I think it'll still win. So it's going to some Hamilton. I thought it'd win at 2,400 Bendigo or somewhere else. It's going to Hamilton. So I don't know what price it'll be. Hopefully it'll be black figures. There'll be a little bit of form in the race. tolerance. One.
It probably won't be because the horse that beat it might win the Oaks today. So that won't help your price.
Ethel Maud. Yeah.
It's a good chance in the Oaks.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's a knockout, isn't it?
Go back to short and sweet. Seems to be a better recipe for me than speculating on how things are going to.
How big was Shock 'em Over for Alex Ray? And
Well,
I didn't watch it. How did it go?
Far out.
It was in a demolition derby.
What's he going to win next year?
The Caulfield Cup.
Caulfield Cup.
He's a
there you
freaking
go.
horse.
Yeah.
He just kept coming and coming and coming, and he still nearly won.
Yeah, no, he's a weapon there. He's a really good horse, that horse.
Bloody good trainer, Ray. And
He's another one. Really,
Aaron
when
Kuru.
everything pans out, when he gets the perfect race shape, the perfect run of that, he's just going to piss in. Like all those races at Caulfield, he wasn't really supposed to win them. Craig was, saving him up, riding to bias and out the back and everything. He's still sticking his head out and winning.
Pakenham Cup might be his race.
I just got a message from someone that I need to share with you.
Okay.
According to my jockey rating algorithms, Amy McLucas with her 3 kilo claim is equal to Bowman, McDonald and Rawilla. Does this sound right to you?
Who sent you that?
Probably best to not share
I
who,
wouldn't
but
add him.
these are the messages we receive and why we love ratings and algorithms.
Amy McLucas.
And I'm a big Amy McLucas fan.
Yeah,
but
Amy
that's
McNuggets.
just
She's done us many favours. Outstanding.
All
All
right.
right.
It's a great game.
That's it. That's great. All right. It's good to see. It's half time of the Flemington Carnival, and we're all fit and fingers crossed we can win on Oaks Day, and then we can, fill up on Champions Day. It used to be Stakes Day.
Yeah, and it's weird. At the ratings, it still says McKinnon and Cantala in the sheets, and if you look at what race is that? Oh, God.
All right. Good luck, boys. Hope you back plenty of winners for the last couple of days.